All right, it looks like we finally got everything up and going. How's it going, everybody? It is Ted here with Bodies and Wicks. And wow, what a crazy day. Um it was all over the place, that's for sure. One of the few days I actually got to sit down and do some trading. Usually I'm at work. Unfortunately, I have been sick and I haven't been able to be at work. So I had the luxury, unfortunate luxury, since I don't still feel the greatest, to take the time to know what it's like to be a full-time trader. And I can't wait to get there. I know it's going to be a couple years, a while before I get there, but you know what? I'll get there. Excuse me for doing this on my show again. It's me, it's who I am. I'm not going to change. Anyways, first of all, before we get into the nit-grit of things, what I did want to do was actually show you a little bit of news today. That news happens to be pretty interesting. 1 second here. Here we go. China declares war on crypto mining, stirring wider fears. Wow. Considering China owns 71% of crypto mining, what exactly does that mean? I mean, you literally shut down one of your country's largest money makers. I wouldn't say it's one of our largest money makers, but it's for sure one. It's got to be a great deal of one of their money makers, especially with the most wild ride it's been this year. As you can see it here, it says Inner Mongolia plans to shut down all operations by April. Nation is home to some of the world's biggest crypto miners. That is for sure. I know that Can, or Canaan, not sure exactly how to pronounce it, Canaan, but they're also the world's largest crypto mining hardware company. I'm not for sure exactly what the mining companies are, considering they're probably state owned. But let's take a look at what this article has to say. Next week, a weekly email where a nation stands on where it's going. In China's Inner Mongolia has banned cryptocurrency mining and declared it will shut down all projects by April. Growing fears the world's #2 economy will take more steps to eradicate the power-hungry practice. The autonomous region, a favorite among the industry because of its cheap power, also banned new digital coin projects, according to a draft plan posted on the Inner Mongolia Development and Reform Commission's website February 25th. Aim is to constrain growth in energy consumption to about 1.9% in 2021. How about energy consumption? That's really odd. Bitcoin extends gains on Monday amid reports of the move increasing as much as 6% in the session. So this is a couple days old, by the way. So that's why I said you probably already know about this. The announcement unnerved an industry that's already been through years-long China campaign, clamp down amid concerns over speculative bubbles, fraud, and energy waste. The draft policy was released weeks after China's top advisor, economic planner, blasted Inner Mongolia for being the only province to fail to control energy consumption in 20. China, you might want to look at yourself about energy. Say it, but you have over 1 billion people. I don't know what you have to say about Mongolia, but they're probably not nowhere near as big as China. Test and nerve. Bitcoin gains after news of China's region outlawed crypto mining. Well, of course it's going to make gains because guess what? The miners are going to come from somewhere. Not gonna, don't if they're going to give up 71% of their share, some of that share is going to go to somewhere else. And I'm hoping it goes over to Colorado for one, which that would be Riot. The other would be I'm trying to think what the other ones would be. I'm not for sure. Is Marathon? I know Marathon's like the patent group, but I'm not for sure if it's actually the um if it's actually a mining company or not. Second here. Anyways, I was trying to see if I could dig up some other mining companies. Anyways, why don't we? Why not? We're already here, right? Let's see what other mining companies are there, right? What are the biggest mining companies? What are the biggest crypto mining company? Right, BTC F2 pool, of course. We about the F2 pool, .com, of course, that's Bitcoin. Ant pool via BTC slush pool, top and Bitfury. Where all of these are located. That's going to have to do some extensive research on my part, which I do not write. But I will eventually get to these and we'll get back to you. I know F2 pool is definitely China. Ant pool, not 100% sure. Yeah, but the thing is that with mining out of the way, you know, especially with Bitcoin mining nearly coming to an end. I wouldn't say coming to an end. There's only 21 million Bitcoin out there. 18 million in circulation. It means there's only 3 million left. There's only 3 million left. That means there's not that many left to go to. So what are they going to do after Bitcoin gets done? Well, you know, there's always tons of alt projects going on right now. And of course, there's Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum has the EIP or the Ethereum Improvement Project. I think it's called 2115 or something like that. But I don't think it holds a candle to anything else, and it's already made a lot of the miners mad. But either way, you know, it's always going to be there. Just like with anything else, when change comes, people get mad, they adapt, and life moves on. Not the end of the world. I don't see China getting rid of some of the biggest revenue makers that they have for their own. It just doesn't make any sense. Just because they want to have their own you know, digital currency doesn't mean it can't, you know, lie hand in hand with China. So that's what doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, just so in case you didn't know, that's what's going on with China. Next, we should go ahead and head over to the trades of the day. So we've been doing these last couple days now that I've actually been able to do them. So you know, I did a couple ones. I tried to do a little bit of each, try to get a little bit of Forex, a little bit of indices, a little bit of crypto. And, you know, well, I guess we'll just have to go ahead and see what I did. But first, if you like smart money, Smart money being those that are not, involved in retail. Retail are just the people that, hate to say it, but the people that really don't know much about trading. They just kind of read books and they think that books are the way that they tell them. Smart money is, you going against the big guys, the big corporations. They're the ones that have the algorithms. They're the ones that know exactly where the trades are going to be, what times they're going to be, uh, those kind of things. And because why? They're the ones that make the money. And 90% of all traders lose. That 90% goes to 10% of basically everybody, not everybody, but a small percentage of those that actually do anything about it, and those would be your big your big banks and things like that. And to illustrate that, what I have here is I have a chart, right? I have a chart, and it is not a Venn diagram. Okay, so chart, right? I'm going to show you it's a chart and not a Venn diagram. That should tell you pretty much everything that you need to know about that. But no, if you do enjoy smart money and you want to know more about what it's about, what I would like you to do is do me a huge favor and go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell, all those good things. And hopefully I can give you the best information that I can. And hopefully after you seeing what I did today and the previous days, you can definitely tell that I hope that I know what I'm doing and I can kind of see it ahead of time. And I know how these traders think, because I put myself in their shoes. And so when you put yourself in their shoes, you kind of know exactly what they're looking for, what they're going for, things like that. So that being said, what I'm going to do now is I am going to go ahead and shoot it over here to, see here. I actually don't have it pulled up just yet, even though I should. There we go. And this is my trading view, wall. So of course, if anybody anything knows about trading view, this is where my ideas come from. And if you follow me, you'll get them right on the dot. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, first this morning, what I did is I actually did a YouTube video. Let everybody know that I did a YouTube video, so that way you could, catch me as I was entering these trades. After I entered the trades, then I went ahead and updated them as I went along. So let me see where we got. Let's see here, and anything that was 9 hours ago. So right here, there was the first one. I entered Bitcoin, of course. By the time I got this into here, it was already up to take profit one. But here was my entry, and no, I didn't backtrack this. You can actually go back and watch my videos from earlier today, and you can see where I entered Bitcoin. So if you want to watch the previous video that was live, you're more than welcome to do so. It is actually shown in here that this is where I entered Bitcoin right here. And the reason I entered Bitcoin right there, simple. Now, there's these things called basically order blocks, right? And order blocks are the big down candles before you hit an up candle, right? So there was one big long down candle here, right? And usually I try to go for the middle, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to get it just kind of near right before it went back up. So here you can see it going back up, and then you see it drop again. So I mean, it go up and then you see it drop. So as it drops, it gets past the green, and that's where I decided to place it, right? It just happens to coincide with this this next candle. So you can see the green also jumping up here. Whenever you see any kind of huge kind of almost not really parabolic, but like a big large movement, you know that price is more than likely going to come back to that area. It's not going to stay up there, and it's not going to keep going forever. It's just not what price does, right? It'll have a huge movement, it'll slide back a little bit, then it'll go up again, then it'll slide back again, then it'll go up again. It's just kind of what price does. So price does two things. It likes to balance, right? And then it also likes to the other thing it likes to do. I always forget. It likes to balance, and oh yeah, and it likes to look for liquidity. So this one not so much liquidity. This one was more for just balance. So as you can see, whenever it came down here, it probably balanced itself out. And that way, whenever I said, I put this one up here, I was already at take profit too. But if you hit play, not too much more happened after that. It did get a little bit higher. I did take a little bit more profit. Did fall down a little bit, probably a little bit more balance. Came back down almost to the same spot. We do have two almost equal lows, which I'm afraid what's going to happen now is it will probably just go underneath, right? But if it does go underneath, that doesn't necessarily mean it won't go back up again. So I still have a little bit left in this, right? And I'll show you exactly how much I took out. Let me see here if I can. Here, I even tell you the calls that I made on YouTube. Ethereum, SPX, the NAS, GBP USD, and GBPJPY. So a little bit of everything. I took 10% off 57,682. So here you go. This is one of the places I took off, or the second place I took off, I should say. And then another, here's a 20% at 57,544. So, and then another 40% off. Leaving actually it's not 20%, it's more like 20%. I said leaving 30%, typo, it meant to be leaving 20% because I did 10 here. 10 was the first one, 10 was the second one, so that's 20, right? And then here's another 20, so that's 40, right? Here's another 40, so now we have 20 left. So now we have 20 left that we're still waiting to see if we can't get above this high, and that's where I originally wanted to go, was above this high, which is 58,183. So we have gained quite a bit of pips all through in here. Again, I use MetaTrader 4 depending on what kind of leverage you use, or what kind of, if you use Bybit, whatever it is, it can all be done the same way. Okay, so that being said, what was the next one that I had? Besides Bitcoin, Ethereum. I said it's not too late to get into this one. You still have some time. Unfortunately, Ethereum has kind of just went sideways. Not really much has happened with Ethereum. I honestly thought what was going to happen was it was going to try to get above these yellow markings that I have. There's a specific reason I have these yellow markings, and they go all the way back, which you cannot see. But there's basically a little gap in between some, and for some reason that just went away. Anyways, there's a little gap that you can't see what I was thinking that it was going to do, even though it stayed above it. And even though this is a breaker, the best part would have, of course, been to get in here, but unfortunately, that was yesterday. So I waited for it to get down just a little bit lower, right? And so I got in here, and then it has gone up again, and then went back down almost to the same spot, actually almost equal lows, which is kind of scary, which means it could take another dive even lower. So I haven't taken any profits yet. I probably should, or maybe I have taken profits. I am not 100% sure. Maybe I did take, yes, I did take profits. I said close partial at 20-25%. It was probably right after I posted this, and then I said move stop loss at 1700. Or if not, if you want to, have a little bit more risk, I'm willing to do 1685. So I meant to put it above it. These first set of yellow lines would be in the 1700 range, right? So if it came down, hit these yellow lines, and then came back up, there would be a reason to hit these yellow lines. Um, or there's another set of yellow lines down here that they could also hit. So it's going to be one or the other. If you want to play it safe, play it below these. If you want to play it halfway safe, you play it above these. So I'm playing it safe. I'm playing it a little bit just below both of them. Actually, I probably need to move this up a little bit more to 1685 like I said I should. But of course you can't change the original one. But if you look at this one, this is where I did move it to here, right? So that would be the 1700. Right, so we did make a little bit on Ethereum. We're still waiting to see if we can make a little bit more. Now, SPX, good one. This was the good one for the day. You can see I was waiting for I was waiting for it to get lower, but it just didn't. I just got it at the wrong time because I was doing so many things at the time I was doing it. But it did eventually just completely just take off. I was waiting for it to get above this yellow line here, and of course it did. And as soon as it did, that's when I took most of the profits. I think I left. I took a couple profits along the way because it was going so slow that I took most of it. Well, it says sold 80% at 39.50. Moved SL to break even. So I took a bulk of it off about halfway, and then I, just to get a good win, then I took the rest of it off all the way at the top. So either way, great move. And I wish I would have just held off a little bit longer. But then again, we can't always see the future. You always want to pay yourself. It doesn't matter what. Either way, it was a win, right? Next one, NASDAQ was also another good win. So NASDAQ, what happened at first was it moved up a little bit, then it dropped down, and then it went right back up. So here we go. Here's the, well, I wouldn't say that was the first part of it, but yeah, I guess that was the first part of it. When I didn't think it was going to get much higher than this, so I did take some profits. I do believe, yes, I did take some profits right around right here where it says TP1. Yep, right around TP1 is where I took profits, and then going anywhere, and then once it got a little bit higher, I actually took more profits after that. So here, right around here is where I took more take profit. So it didn't get all the way to TP2, but it got as close as I could. It was around 12,942. That was when I took my second take profit. And I think I still have about 40% left onto that one. Maybe about 30%. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if I outlined it, how much I took on this one or not. With as fast as it ran, I took 20% off the first one, and then no, okay, so I know I took 20% off the first one, and I want to say I took about 50% off the second one. So I want to say that's why there's 30% left, because I think it can continue moving upwards going into tomorrow. All right, next one was GBP Verse USD. What I wanted to see here is, of course, I got into it a little bit late, but we did end up getting up a little bit higher. I wanted to see it get above this line here, but it did not. not get there at all. So what I did do is, as it was going up, so as you can see, it was arcing up this way, right? What I did do is I did take profits there. And then I took profits when it got toward the end as well, just to see here. So I can kind of outline you where I took profits, right? Multiple take profit goals along the way. I have them lined out. Take profit here, take profit here, take profit here. And then if it got all the way up there, there would be one at 152.603, right? So where did we get to? Got to 151.808 was the highest that we got. And then here was one we just got a little bit higher. It was about 151 point, I think it was 905 is what it was, if I'm not mistaken. 90 something, I think I even put it in here. Oh, 151.805, sorry, not 905. Another 10% at 151.905, 70% at 151.905, which I was close to. So 10% at 151.805, I meant 70% at 151.900. So that was 80%, and I think I took 10% here. So I still have 10% left going on in this one. And I have moved my stop loss to break even. That way I don't lose any of those profits whatsoever. And then here we have, you know what the funny thing was? I think that was GBP versus JPY, and I put it as GBP versus USD. Yep, that's what it was, GBP versus USD, and it's actually, this was GBP versus JPY. And I can assure you all of these are GBP versus JPY, all of them right here in GBP versus JPY. And this one here, GBP versus JPY. See, I just had it under the wrong one. I accidentally put GBP USD. Here we go. Here is actual GBP USD. This one didn't make it nearly as far as I thought it was going to. Also, I jumped in just a little bit too early. I should have known. I probably could have waited until it got down to this bar down here, which was actually the 618. And of course, I jumped in just a little bit early. Of course, if you ever have any doubts, the 618 for anything will work. Well, not always, but depending on how it goes. If you're, I mean, if it's getting above, you know, certain, here, let's just go to GBP USD, that I can kind of give you an idea. So it didn't exactly get above, you know, these highs here. So that's what I was afraid of. That's what I was wanting it to do. Whenever it came down, it didn't get lower than these lows. So that's why I was thinking we could have a potential to have a run again above these highs and then above these highs as well. But we didn't, unfortunately. Instead, what we did is we got to one of the levels that I, you know, wrote out multiple levels. M1 nothing. M2 was the level, unfortunately, that I had to take profit. Why I named them M's, I think it was just for money. Money 1, money 2, money 3. You know, just to see how fast it was gonna go and if it was gonna end these. Were some gaps that I saw that I definitely thought it was going to be heading toward these areas, but depending on how fast it was going to get through these M's, it was going to be a determination if it actually got to that or not. So unfortunately, that is what has happened. So anyways, we did take profit there. not too much. We did take profit around two. I forgot exactly what it was. Go back to trading view and see if I don't know why, for some reason some of these it takes it off, and some reason it puts it back on. I don't know. See here. Yeah, lay it out. 40%. There we go. I took 40% at M2 and then moved stop loss to break even. So if it moves back down to M1, maybe I'll take another 40%. Who knows? Maybe I won't take anything. Maybe I'll take the rest of it. I am not for sure. I will just have to wait and see and find out what's going on. So either way, all the trades that we have had today were good ones. Again, the only one that I was not 100% impressed about was the Ethereum one, which I'm, we're still on the cusp of possibly losing money, because it's the only one that we haven't taken profit in. At least I'm gonna have to double check on that. Like I said, there were so many trades today that I can't keep my eyes straight of which ones I did, because I was all over the place trying to make sure that that was yesterday's Ethereum that did not go through so well. We made some money on that one, but we lost a little bit. I think we pretty much broke out even on that one. And then this one, it goes sideways. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, so never mind. Forgot. I did close partial 20-25%, somewhere around in there. And so we still have about 80 to 75% running around. Maybe once it just, as long as it gets above the original price, maybe I'll just close it out, wait for tomorrow, see if I can't find a better setup. Because sometimes that's just the best thing to do. Sometimes you're never going to win them all. Never going to win them all, right? So the best thing to do is just to wait and find a good setup. Can't chase after setups. You have to let the setups come to you, right? That being said, let's take a look at Bitcoin. I do want to take a look at Bitcoin, even though I did a great job at Bitcoin today. I was surprised at myself for doing a good job of Bitcoin today, especially nailing the entry from what I did. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better entry, just right down into it, and then boom, pops right back out. Again, if you watch my YouTube videos from this morning, you can definitely see that's exactly what I did. Waited for it to get down there, hit the button, and just watched it go. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this yellow here, this blue arrow right here, that is for market executions. And just so you know, if I hit this button that says show executions, it goes away. If I click it, it comes on. If I click it, it goes away. If I click it, it comes on. Same thing over here. This is where I took some profit. If I click it, there goes away. If I click it, it comes on. If I click it, it goes away. If I click it, it comes on. So there you go. Now you know there are market executions in here. So, all right. So just FYI. Yeah, the only thing is, I'm giving you all information about when to take, profits and losses. The crappy thing about this is that sometimes whenever you hit X, it just decides to clear out your entire your entire position. So instead of saying, hey, you want to close at this position, close it this much, it just decided to close my whole position. So I could have made a lot more, but I know for myself, if I would have actually had MetaTrader 4 in front of me, I would have known exactly what to do with MetaTrader, or not with MetaTrader, with TradingView. Sometimes this thing can be difficult, and it doesn't allow me to do exactly what I want to do. I would have been nailing it up here. If not, I would have nailed it back up again up here. Either or, we would have made money. Either or, I followed along. Just in, even though I did screw up, if you were following along with me, you would have made money. So I made sure not to leave anybody behind in case they were following along with my ideas. And that is that. So it is now 7:20. I gotta get off of here, guys. I got some things I gotta do. Hope you guys have had a great night. Love you all, and to remember just to always keep your pants on. Okay, I think I said that right.